Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you work, others always get ahead of you? The truth is, success doesn't belong to the hardest worker, but to the one who sees deeper than others. Today, I'll reveal Machiavelli's secret trait that gives you an unfair edge, a trait hidden from most people. Let us begin with the hidden trait that few men possess, yet all envy when they encounter it. I call it strategic perception. The ability to see reality not as it is presented to you, but as it truly exists beneath the layers of illusion. Most people move through life like travelers in a dense fog. They trust what their eyes show them, they take words at face value, and they cling to appearances as though appearances were truth itself. But appearances, my friend, are the first weapon of the cunning. Consider the court of a prince. When you look upon it, you see smiling faces, loyal ministers, and noble courtiers swearing their devotion. Yet behind those smiles hide daggers, and beneath every word of loyalty lies ambition. The prince who accepts only what is shown to him is not a ruler. He is prey. And soon, he discovers that trust without perception is the shortest path to ruin. Strategic perception allows the wise man to pierce through this fog. He does not stop at the mask, but seeks the face beneath it. He does not believe the words, but reads the intention behind them. This trait is hidden because it cannot be learned from books alone, nor can it be given by another man. It must be cultivated, sharpened, and refined through observation and reflection. To see clearly, one must first step outside the prison of desire. Most men see not what is, but what they wish to be. A man in love sees beauty where there is manipulation. A man desperate for approval sees friendship where there is exploitation. A man hungry for power sees allies where there are rivals. And in every case, the blindness of desire delivers him into the hands of those who know better. Strategic perception demands detachment. It demands that you silence the noise of your heart so that your eyes may see the battlefield as it truly is. Imagine a game of chess. The novice sees only the move before him. He is blind to the trap being set 3 steps away. The master, however, sees not only the present but the possible. He sees what is hidden, what is likely, and what is inevitable. Life, too, is a game of hidden moves, and only the man with perception can anticipate the strike before it falls. Do not mistake this for coldness. Perception is not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. The perceptive man feels as any other, yet he does not let those feelings blind his judgment. He may love, but he will not let love turn him into a fool. He may trust, but he will not let trust turn him into prey. He may hope, but he will not let hope turn him into a dreamer. In this, he walks a narrow path where others stumble. When you practice strategic perception, you begin to notice what others ignore. You see the nervous twitch of a rival's hand that betrays his fear. You hear the hesitation in a friend's voice that reveals a hidden doubt. You recognize the overconfidence of an enemy as a mask for weakness. The world speaks to you in whispers, and you, unlike the crowd, are listening. Most men will never understand this. They will continue to live in the realm of appearances, mistaking smiles for loyalty and promises for truth. They will cling to illusions because illusions are comforting. Reality, after all, is harsh. It tells us that loyalty is rare, honesty is fragile, and friendship often bends beneath the weight of ambition. To see clearly is to accept these truths without despair, to use them not as burdens but as weapons. Strategic perception gives you an edge because it grants you control over what controls others. If you can see reality while others remain trapped in appearances, then every interaction becomes a game you have already won. When others believe, you doubt. When others trust, you test. When others commit, you calculate. And by doing so, you move through the world not as a victim of deception, but as its master. Think of the merchant who negotiates a deal. The foolish one believes every promise of profit, and when the contract breaks, he cries betrayal. The perceptive one, however, saw the greed in the merchant's eyes, the impatience in his tone, the carelessness in his words. He anticipated the betrayal before it happened, and he prepared for it. To the crowd, he looks lucky. In truth, he was perceptive. This is the difference between the masses and the few who rise above them. The masses live by the stories told to them, by the appearances they are shown, by the dreams they wish to believe. The perceptive few live by the truth beneath those stories, beneath those appearances, beneath those dreams. And while the many stumble in darkness, the few walk in clarity. Why do most people fail? The answer is not weakness of the body, nor even weakness of the mind. It is weakness of judgment. Men do not fail because they lack talent or effort. They fail because they cling to illusions, because they let emotions govern them, and because they chain themselves to morality as if it were a shield. Yet in the game of power, these are not shields at all. They are shackles. Observe carefully the way men conduct themselves. They believe the words of others without question, thinking that honesty is as natural to all as it is to themselves. They expect loyalty as if loyalty were a law of nature rather than a fragile thread that snaps at the first sign of profit or fear. They obey their hearts, allowing anger, jealousy, or pride to dictate choices that demand calculation. In doing so, they are like soldiers charging blindly into battle, swords raised high, unaware that their enemy has already encircled them. Failure begins in the heart. The heart whispers, "Trust this man," he smiles warmly. "Believe this promise, it sounds sweet. Take this path for it feels right," yet the world is not ruled by feelings, but by forces far colder. To move by emotion alone is to build your house upon sand. Single wave, betrayal, misfortune, ambition from another, and the foundation crumbles. Look to the courts of history. How many kings lost their crowns because they trusted too deeply in the loyalty of their ministers? How many generals lost battles because pride blinded them to the cunning of the enemy? How many merchants lost fortunes because greed made them believe in deals too good to be true? Always, it is the same story. Emotion deceives, appearances seduce, morality binds. And the man who clings to these without perception walks himself into ruin. Most men also fail because they live in a world of wishes rather than a world of truths. They do not see reality as it is. They see it as they hope it will be. They hope their rivals are honest, so they treat them as such. They hope fortune will protect them, so they ignore preparation. They hope that loyalty will last forever, so they neglect to watch for betrayal. But hope is the luxury of the knave. The wise man sees clearly that fortune is fickle, men are ambitious, and loyalty is fleeting. He builds not on hope, but on calculation. There is also the matter of morality, that golden chain that drags so many down. Men are told from childhood that honesty is always rewarded, that kindness always returns, that justice rules the world. These are pleasant stories, but they are not truths. The man who lives entirely by them will sooner or later be devoured by one who recognizes that the world does not bend to morality but to power. This does not mean morality has no use. On the contrary, it is a tool, an appearance that can charm, a mask that can disarm suspicion, a language that can lull the masses into obedience. But for those who mistake the tool for the truth, failure is certain. Consider the worker who believes loyalty to his master will earn him reward. He serves faithfully, trusting promises of promotion. Yet when the day comes, the master replaces him with a cheaper hand. The worker cries injustice, but in truth he was blind. His loyalty was never valued, only his usefulness. Had he seen this earlier, he might have protected himself, prepared for betrayal, or even used his loyalty as leverage. Instead, chained to morality, he waited for a reward that would never come. Or consider the politician who believes his popularity secures his future. He mistakes applause for power, praise for stability. Yet behind the curtain, rivals sharpen their knives, supporters drift to the strongest side, and one scandal is enough to end his reign. He fails because he thought the love of the people was eternal, when in fact it is the most fleeting of all currencies. In every corner of life, you will find the same error repeated. Men assume that others are as they are. The honest man believes in honesty. The loyal man believes in loyalty. The just man believes in justice. And in this way, they project their own virtues onto a world that does not share them. But the world is not honest, not loyal, not just. It is filled with ambition, cunning, and self-interest. To ignore this is to walk willingly into defeat. Why do most people fail? Because they do not want to see. They prefer illusions, because illusions are comforting. It is easier to believe in loyalty than to accept betrayal. It is easier to believe in justice than to accept corruption. It is easier to believe in honesty than to face deceit. And so they live in dreams, while the perceptive and the cunning rule over reality. There is one advantage above all others that separates those who rise from those who remain forgotten. It is not strength, nor intelligence, nor even fortune. It is the art of detachment, the ability to conceal what is within while displaying only what is useful. This is the secret edge, the silent weapon that the masses will never understand because they live with their hearts exposed and their minds unguarded. Men reveal themselves far too easily. They laugh too openly, they confess too quickly, they declare their loyalties, their fears, their hopes, their secrets. They believe that honesty creates trust, that vulnerability creates connection. In truth, it creates chains. When you reveal your soul, you give others the power to hold it, twist it, and use it against you. The one who cannot hide his intentions is like a soldier walking into battle with his armor removed. Brave perhaps, but already defeated. Detachment is the opposite of this weakness. It is the discipline to wear a mask so convincing that no one sees the truth beneath it. It is the ability to smile while your mind calculates, to agree while you plan your own course, to appear weak while you prepare your strike. Detachment does not mean coldness, means control. Control over yourself and control over what others believe you to be. Imagine a room of rivals. Each man argues, each man boasts, each man reveals his desire to dominate. But one man remains quiet, his face calm, his words measured, his true thoughts hidden. The others underestimate him, for they cannot rate him. They cannot predict him, for he offers them nothing to predict. And when the moment comes, he strikes with precision, while the rest stumble, surprised that the silent one had been playing the game all along. This is the advantage of detachment. You control the flow of information, and in doing so, you control the battlefield itself. Then so, the primasuya. Consider how often men are destroyed not by their enemies. Habiti, and how pitifully and you care. But what even as an irritations, Chetty, Pranima, for thy enemies, the commendation to them, quite the enemies, losing, and I trust, you lose your whole. And there are enemies for supporting no enemy. Pizenai Shizada Sove, begins up aramas. By their hodis are in Javeli's story bunny, for Ketuses. Winsipa, P. Pide, by their own tongues. Kidnappers is Yabaliga Pukemis. A word is spoken in anger. A word in Shiatanani and Jijichiti with Insichi, Antonense. What you will shorten in anger. Ibus, this you scar thy ye. Confession may hate ha trusta. Coiting harken cheers. Go your people intended and young lovable. Be a confession made in trust. Yapahu sins when hard to solid and be suppressed. And Zinner Balasi in pride. And is suddenly a bit away their intention and suddenly in praise is sudden given away their intentions. Farnheining Wingard aim our present here. I he's Pintra Mulluga. Cam the Weberdino. I'm looking. Anxious conclusion that away. And make contestants. Name. Gis risen in the Pisa's Galdra Kenning. The perceptive opponents these and out. Didonijus, yeah. Cheesies. Other pobio. Abram. Keep pradani pos. Sprendentian Cochina. The perceptive opponent. And CTNs. King Shears difference in opponent. Way to depping Gangalausen. Powerthai Sinbad Temfungi opin the Twitter ye. Exploits it. Timmy tape hop and fear fat is spady to pigui. And here turns it into a weapon. And King Kunjin Torapthi. Bithana an. Key. We could be them hard teaching party into a weapon. To Indish minute parket proceptus. Detecting of this. Often had him the fade protects you from on this fate. Pibin kun. In this should get some heavy, you not. Yeah. In the divine energy. What wishes you from this fate? Pub pinning yo, peanut pup was swellashes the peaches you. Then he be she arming. Where she net swan. Then the into people. Don't be. By saying less than you know. But is she bowers and the going to be like Anders Lasty, you to Shufi, Guisipa. Putenana, Rem, and Putwin as you par heavy, Pudokren. Call them when we find me called you even, you feel. Against parfum, or paper she, you know pal the you a pal of and counting, she do mommy down in summer lily. Be one of the grising from you das, Tennyson. Erber, Peating the energy of the means since in that investing. You're made of the grasp will you and others. So did you me. Then couldn't it be some you Robert or D. Gain han hot used if consider you, what a baby gordy. You're not in being against you, what that carpini hunting me telling him is returning now can pay. If you go upon any pruding hungry fish of our connollers. She can't got the people who did if you want to go to sleep. Yeah. You know what machine is on feel being on you and false on in. Vitash melanlens. But dictameter titasmoten. Some of the benish. The go safara stemony was savalinessing in your again the sun. You get southbound pressure as your all-handly assailants. In our church is not only silence, it is also performance. Happy are you. It's who division. You being one and a sure city. unopinionativity. The verb is also performance. To wear a mask is not merely work to hide, but to dispel what what benefits you most? Only most. What benefits you most? Alternately, no humility. Nothing about it is innermost. Oh, emotion. Having hoped in honor. Is virgin. Man, you most. And I work in humanity. It was tunda. Penacity. If strength is required, if estivati, it's a kishada penis chicken yamcham. If is required. The vocable jibadinella prepare sexu. So, mas piting ya peeing gishu and pisobaking. You appear strong. If the finite is of you, USD. And one put them what doing. In the footage diminishes now that you and wake gannacy, the confusion of inutilic disease. If weakness is invited sympathy, ten up out is six as you will appear awake. It's dansa. Pink, you appear awake. Tepens you been offending up army and feel that you do since Pewigi. If charm disarms, suspicion. I presume you're honest and gus and suspicion. You pity can you would the trippinson. Or push your pretty window, parpe. Tinibe which you appear charming. Pew has up the way. Beautiful shantivir of hun purity. All this while. Being where chup halati. Gipublish that yet enemy the mass later. She's to be switch him in anciency, untouch you. Where they sing the thing take, our nonsense, our time, talking to the push on the quarter. Any working leisure. Himself behind the veil, you have constructed you. Into Nanti pity and go for chi, and on safe behind the veil, you have constructed. Much 100 towns is the unshocked return. Other others move as they seen. Ubuv Iver seen. Other indo mother ipinasha. Edaner, P, Evuni. Nandra. Others movers they are seen. Will pay your move as you to be seen. Davarji pays you. Then he need peace will stop as a puppets hated you. Now our fat piece can owe you pay shish. Now the pothers obscene. Bendy. You move as you chose to be seen. Or he'll be fired then as they call it. His head a car way. The secret of Pamperto power. You invited you during the rhythm on us. Teddy chats of every ray and thy teaching get you correlate. Told you correlate you have a new living in yours. Yet your part loves for correlate dancing rather than she okay until she are you in there. It is Pami Buinanin in Princes is beautiful but were ruthless in siege she created. Only moptrospoik and mebeversible, but were ruthless in sick rain. And as go Peterboard and Twager, ruthless in Lazamani, high Hans Worgern. Then our ear to little there's in nest and that football or kiss me in very those words siege. He prepared to win the anyway. He how you losing from the ruthless you familiar here. The beginner, to give you a cushion, only to ambush their enemies. Where rape is named from the entity, company. You ain't missing, and enter and call out your culture berry. You can even hunt commies, you their enemies. And a bursy, to their assist, your artists, to the Jensen, the Yarusian, issue, prescribing, Jehovah's enemy. Merchants who appeared generous, while quietly amassing, arjaqui, obeying, what, after, hook, are amassing, wath, all understea, and that's inference and speed, and pens, or get you taught it, and she were renewed concert, computers as a weapons, and then she got, what a believe your eyes and what I'm doing,
and creations of report slider. Where we only taking everyone to the word beneath their patterns.
Tenidi nasi mothers just fimi yerters, unsensitive of is fubernamochirf. A weapon, no one can see, whether you can afford a weapon and don't run a player. And I don't know about it, graphic. You shouldn't know the great. I ain't not seeing corn. Things is in there if they, you can sure what him equals do the thing. Yeah, those sure. She, sure enough. Look me read now, we travel secure. PB yedichi, at humicity suffer yet all must suffer for pity, Katie and the shoe. We needs to be orgar and very we away. The masses fail here because they confuse authenticity with guzzi. Concentrates in the community. He heated in Lori. So this should be very but being with even chineship. We often go vertical. You could choose up burger chicken. Sure. You can cook your food in fact. You can be rich, but you won't eat in the business of anything with you. Where you eat for this. Believe you're all I've given. Pibu lintabita the visume. Ideas to deceive. Which is not harder. Sorry, home to not is it to deceive. Billied to hide is a Jew to she and to deceive if tea and even kuhu like here. To deceive is to be wiki and in kingdom to be free. She vend. But in reality be at Jürgens fu bisu, be what the tipalishi. But then in May finish she's a delta. How's it called that the manipulation only arse, Danjat Hamlin the Hoshitan Egyptian on a Luhungi easy to don't that she's a wider manipulation of the art agility, Ishi, GT, and the handwriting can tell you the kingdom manipulation. Who's on the nature? I choose the days of can chiba, meaning from college and the collation. Pew, the one who pathly opposes his you, who is a sweet daughter. Hanshui. Kokopin the tatter whom spundness command is people in you. You chance on praise, neutron aids, with calculation and bimpinzo. With Kokopinsti. Around Pineda, I soon step in RPG. And take condition to go bonzi. We devour the mail. Also, constant, it was BKM. All Mazili way. So it's a poem for you, Henzino. Desire. Ariard whose exer. Kushuvediors and fee, opus or opal, to air this linen and intends answer and can onward a break to all to ex mortem all and score all to exist play. Coning is that is used. Wound like Serenus Floyds, but the tassel we are the detached Macui, to the benefit good in the teacher the issue in Allen, and so 30% you went on. Binu Hadi Yasikar Weber, PB. Pin P was in there. Shaver, he disputes heard of it. P Weber cannot be bound in this way. He cannot be bound in this way. He brings a being tenure that in a way, what in this way, thine. Ich weet je zien dus hoe je visatse wat war het afenzi one of the course and use you out in pool je bonnet I my then the she can if was you bonji and in curry emotions that the curry nothing will go in any penny bonjour and him and see your those I know idea but you been sensitive any of and years kissing li 靠芯片的配合黑面的 in watching opinion, calculating, deciding where himu, kokat, kone, doing the how hinning, calculating out on the hair.
And this sitting one, the shooter is you not.
The Kevin Untats was using P. He also for you. Frishidar. Tiberni, the parent of emotion. Also, free you from the Tibrandunani and the big leader of Veres, mouse, Azia, and Ozimaizen, on an embryo. Whooping emotion and abilities and your peace and it's your any emotion. The den biak hashun the do the one eyes is go call. Pinman, when on anger rises. Vlag energy wait he even. By already the two, page you, a our shenza my daddy wa to spoon. In tito the gina, that Hanadin we scotties. Nipple put the commandment explodes. Poems at hardy, pretty debuts at gay, says that we even are should be hid him. Seeing the future wanted, a saying things he might betray him. The things that betray him. When fear strikes, what tempted ye unquay when veneer shushi, the quay do jega pay. Yimi feed is a baking, Piu he retreats too soon, the pinamisi. He retreats to Kershivi, so the Chilshun, the Chiripong, Chisuban, but that is the breed, thity, but the Jobior, the K ladies, revealing he pay his weakness. Bijwit and she ran his weakness. Nietzsche, Sabini. A pen, being wind, pride, fills him. When pride fills him, your body pin the lu shichu. Dinan pini, he boasts, pursuing a pishun's home. We piltunen, what can, it's chipus pitution. In between, see Pete having and his humanness and T ambitions, on the pego season for the jing. Vides this almotic. We can the details, visual tomato seeds, L. And so, emojis is the nation or tassiva unba. We feed unseen the column, and if very in the visual community, the ginger permain, and the underspecking labelation, in the victory. I had a ball, when the important debut, and book or higher, have you. I mean, because these time with them. He may rage inside a P mayochi. Sabunchu guardi, descentu candy. P may rage inside, but so peak biao hit a ferdinthal. Kinegel is hank say, B yargat the Piden. But his face is calm. Kinachu enjoy the chisadi. B many from the few way. He may fear within, but his voice is steady. The pay whatever your pinfooty, bao yi did I say, she will she, the tatsing in. They bop heap on the bony, but his voice is steady. He may desire power. He may desires power. K area. May desire power. Pingered up, keep putting, Nick Bagner to warden. He hides as if he, of modesty. A POV of modets, or it is the, any, hab, heathy, EP, on top, in elk, if modesty. And behind the scene enough emotion to favor here. We walk over into the acting of air. What's of modesty? En me is a never the moment but me. In whom, and these feet pilatasing, our enemies, landed the perfume there. T buffer in an show, and nada. Penalization, yeah, Kilori, moment to vivid advantages or fashion, mark music. She or on speed pass here. She be, no going. The going nothing linking. The lunches of versus man. P1 Narbators upperquishu, alba delivered way of theory. Nivu carity. Bishop pity the knowledge, the Jinju cardishi. Combine, it's called Amy. Stickles tactically cheat, you. People in the Jism don't catch your attention, Shane. But when they should be the Tongan need to strike you. People, because he's has denied them the knowledge further. Stegen quarter arm. On the hood of the Hollis is an initiative for spin out these. And on entity and he committed an egoism that gnarly greatest danger. Ancient evidence of the code function of squanting or shinichi.
아가씨, 긍인그나는 이거도 피부를지지. 비니소리라기는 현실을 언질러지고 나지냐.
He, incipit to master detachment. I hit up isn't he easier to become untouchable. I never issue. I keep it up, plantains, but his high door and he brought nothing in home the unique piece in the hard. You killed your little vessel, how you do to glory in the team. Upon mom, others may speak. The P. Others may speak, reveal, expose. Ri per ani be, kavida su hada dit a be kosoan. I greta I. Piju you bokavro a tibi and the pini. Yenli kanger is you. Tanjin, hadis tamsani. Karne mai. This sem to is and danium angry mice shirtis. Everything sui. Iba, cap curse, you. Sukoi infiniting. The tadic remaining it say. Pain me and pay, but you remain hidden in ponting. We pray for no G2 and then if you didn't pick up, you know. I'll keep you on the United. PV we shoot a free. They play the game and on the aborted. What arborated they. The touting under from quality sharpie. May gain on the board and bien sure people seeing that you after guess you did shit they get you did a suit. You play the game in the shadows. P. You play the game in the shadows. But P and I just say you need to do he pen never the tune for the bay she fan pinamench. P. E. They think they know you. Harabeshi, but no poly, but they only know the maski. But the Ugur you, a minority. Half the feeling you one from the initiative. Help and be allowed the mask key. And none for the almond scene have allowed verse banam CV. Tenabling Linda G. He fair divinity. He am sure got seen a. So from Pinoli, wonder longer than me to see. And say, well, we'll face our than at least. If the greatest deception we call to Li, Ray, the creditors in the we should use you, imagine PD, and the greatest deception yo yeri, only the thatcher, you see, because pulling your value strategy, company on can there be in had been some billy, but to appear transparent to bear. Is your polo per spirit the for, or pain but an open, counsel and gout winning key, unit hame rebaining. And even of the plani, will it Nordic conceals of her reign, formation children, not remainly concealed, him, Kurani upon Panaponamis in the Condangon, on Kuilati, and yet really even at me kitchen, clearly, and again, before the alternate, you put those fisher like I put in Conding and you so little Puncia. But where you want to patty come and high, Quambi, when Lee Naldrius shoot the be is a day, Yensinlar, be sapivigoretta you be goopy. Nem Hartman, that some anti-Jugatin Clean that when Golichi, the great thing for you. So when they apparently understand you, they summons up that they cease to question you. And some TPV, they cease to question you. Tadui, whippiness, beep your weakney, witty, what? Here, then all sini, you vedi suchiji vedi, nami, when they think this year wheats, it is not a fairy, but gave it. Honest of the thing, think they see your weakness, ukulagark, kabeshovin, sutri, you patty, game underk, when the be no nor sona for you shranda, you waited but in jeep for ya, to pace. You pumini what he called off in her. Before, but she didn't, and then have to do one thing, turn in here. Opinion all your teeny cur and shoot a shorter, when they therefore in Novia Harnarin, at Puffin Pine, ha anon chere a setting him, teeth, the put him, it's chile, tea, entirely loyalty, and when on seeing has said her pending that. Then, so little healing is my her lord to it, Just in that wishing you're they no longer suspect your, MND fans are willing to be the women and you the bush fusion, your yama, body. May they no any longer suspect your ambition. Begin to be a get your audition. Humble message, your ambition. Killed when you part of songs you super freezy, but when we are afraid to say so sapiens. And so you mean to when on car free. So for you move freely, as to many be limiting the but while your depends upon melical, could your own, but in the tomer, while your honesty. Well argue that on, tonus, and that you plotter on him. Can mean cheap or in the nana, on the looking under agents, when you know mean in teaching public writing layer of unity, but we trouble you on the sheet. Should be going towards the her by the way. And you should hold you, but then I'm weak and since you bring the war on ready be from you and more than sure. Yes. Top of the Bundy B. This city of two pieces was quash. Beatus is the secret. Aggie. This is the secret. Action is ag. The base of valiant, of pagan, advantage. That makes you ordinary. Ten. What is your and narration? Joe Pudimend. We're ordinary person. I can see you wire chauffeur issue. I like for month at my role you you can all him. With many sheeples with the one should be Kenny Allen with in a shishia. Snowden has no one making drama. We can't hear you your couldn't. Yeah, and you're in. Pin you see the bird quotes you. Gain to us between in you. In truth, Nyanoders and you all terhivenary debates a pebist bird. How this is hidden inches to mercantrake on Equilidens and Artinians in the Herbert infinite course, and his ancestors live on others. Cornering marching. How they in? Chuel the bird and where? And we've for since you've carried you living. Fought in the leagues, leading law. Because they didn't get me. You should serve you use. A discarding letter contender serve you. He done Lenny V. He all have about per Christian women do V. When you missed modding out to do. Vegan numbers Niccolò die suit sport unfancy. Kishin the amenities. Sin European is called eat your theory buddy. So if you're wearing. You can often get a Trontera A in the gonna say. But drag it to an offense out of garden and a maga play politicians in the pony. Of railroad hand the lair of daily life, or peer did live in the ancient Xingsa, that in Taubling, when he's lived in immunity, and into Ratimar, of Jenny Gibson, the beast, Kulera Suarkis, and you didn't use Kungluji, you do you pay, you wine on Latin in the Legion of Lloyd the Vivlion to me there. Haiti can't be my orange Chimorsa the Puzu, where the Sudio deities os, wine, a Marafican sharpens, his sword but never lifts it. I'm next. The rest of the wolf in that is that I'm $1 million. I see the made of your effort at all. Son, I quit you not a dinner for one if say in about the map, it's funny, or in my name, you stand to my line. So, by Kini apothesting, creates answer the first, you can power perception, people to a sense in Heidegger. A power unpacking higher of perception. So you the straw per be all happy will be all per beefy that descended being good. The shreds of the detachment, K, K-Binti, and listen to liberty the P. And I didn't heard who TGG and couple of things. These must be way forward in this. For if you be perch you pony you can make in. To maybe you accursed but he being the impossible woman ready. It's not the heat and stone gone. Instinct you know how to well skin ray. You're Alice. You're at the fee. My skin is shoot like burning. What you know and shenanigans. And you know, if you, I'm sure the answer share. Music for inclusion of the Gigi. And the heart did you be not senior. You prefer that wow. You are in the guy. Pinot有几次过的到7岁，看的就批判有 consider 6，求的 P， 标准是底线 into your dealings， 以为会慢。PBD 提lui pliegi om every move is the bisum, then dun bisin doting min so. You've a credibilina.
to the good you need to a movement you make.
Test Forbre, she goes on for you if you wish to transform them from knowledge into an advantage.
For put it into Lenny's head on it. Jason Puholi sure talking about it to the dream. What in the India in Flemish area. We're training these into your Diane, your high tongue. To go to college, your work is you know. When we come to work on that.
What himly your sea canson cooper samid. Look first. Her a team. Under the war out the purdy. Burger Pian Warding and with a moyo chinin. In. And she food you really made. Look first at the world of work. To mid her mendy labor notes. Only with their hands, but weed. We can unbid sir, him hitches some. I'm a heap beans. No, we ends in the lady watching you. One, you know, we good. These are all coordinate things. Now let's all in Tanya. Or get us 4 things, so you should know. With pride, we can at least. I'll be the sheet top of it. You would have been in hard work or in every turn like that. Quinny, but he knew Jordan Jew. Vojason. Pinky. Here, P. Rivals are dressed as colleagues. Tishaderson. Card some Hindi. Rawls. Watch shortersi. And Urshansish card Chenevi. Chipis. Cosenses. Annie. Weevils are dressed as colleagues. Kambo. Byung. Huokanans are co-promises and nomi species. The promises had yes mayoshes and elopes are compact in this. Some emphasis mild in any smiles. If you reveal honors what me meant, if you your every thought, the poet, to name uni petty venut indeed. Harder and injuries of math arch. If he in the comparative goods and Susantis. Reveal your every thought. If you expose the faith, a libition, affords the putty jupil to stay in the rambi. Because you wada, he wedi, sung chelan yibon the sea tide irandius. If you do instantly be, Chinarum, Ariobon, Seaver and Amazonine. Jane, we demand to see our your ambition. Teaching your sarge of it, indignant duties. Why they, to this opposed do and Morav, but turns friends to guide the foe. You don't have built that. Nay, back hard yarders. Panfan have Glendam's chum, or us in mainly than certain stability. But Fisher Ryan at the advantage, that those speaking. If the monarch will know them, they're playing with them. The illuminated visions and the elevating, no presidency. You know, see more. Or pain we keep doing on your music. And he felt portion of how we did also. Potters, where you be tennishin, to the poat her, corsichul tunes. You pay. Good her yatter state. In Stella for Pelishes. Virgin seen on the beard hurting here. Restore kind here, Kenny. You hide your intentions. Pregil appearing harmless. He petishment illegally hitty cur. Be contrary illes. If you nigh court a pavied and necommissionally. You're blind looking if need easily while appearing harmless. Integrity. And HU Ardami. While appearing conduct manualities. A computer challenge to them. Or nothing as you pay could have been seat going in a hoodjudian on comparing. Into Helviami. Unning seen. And take care. In power unseen. But he at eating you. And then has she made you. Let them underestimate you. Hit you to share. Chapin says already jet you. Underestimate you. This bullet pinable pens me to the man that's today is and from the chujaros knee. We space in our man who will you could get them tomorrow. Mon Fanislam row. Say off the shade. Tomorrow and do and it's actually like 4% in a row and it's probably just Do not be the lately o de fes pibes suntolly junar nibum, tu pinirum. Do denota, vivon status stipiendi wedding and inojut. Geniadis banini. You may not continue. And not gladi peasing in the room, paba, be the one they least expect pay. With her glotolento soleni and cheaper you answer you. Eatery every uses the jude cassi. Nor who'd have thrown it before you. Nakarer pd at least expect a. Pella be befuinam shum cores croppas, our arch. Then lunge sade copa with a procopan. The entire club bm shum two seduis. EPB80E. When the time comes to strike, killing apis nembusi, sum, dunning your with P is bandiver and damp the number Z. They will presumise air sudden. Your rise will appear sudden. Only was a malpour queaseth his delicacy. You kendem, though in truth you have been preparing, all in along some emotionanus you. Have been being you imitated in a morning. Ambitious. Quan, you will feel it, posted on as a morning. In game, if you bald how jolly around lawn along. Or how you right long. At charity. All issues you would die. Planning to come on your news was our shumpo. He put a relation is in our P80. In relationship itself and he is certain. Pipinism in the way to find it as you took all these zoomy. The pum mother the dirty oil tea, where your nanny fin la sensipiosis. So pumedy, food is a bay. You know, it's a friendship. When he be toshabaz and alayu. Today, the P or desire, want a tea, fight tien, the same principles applies. Peggy, the same principle applies. Canish. In part the cargrass, Chesterkins and Plandovi. Me him as men give too much of themselves. Dom ord of to beim ferne and infindosem. Taso pel en and tippen zems. Most of Pitney sympathy art antiquity. Half of themselves. Going to the felon jikin rob the names in the agent to me. The ritzy they reveal every thought peg. It is revi every tharn tars. Ufoi incolent tyranny. Came to boy. We revere Mathurin. Confesses of railing. P. Confess every fee ye are. We in that chen. Chishivru e. Confess every feeling. Beaming dadati. And buddy get the panes ever away on the pad issue. Exitanless magician. You pull a consent, you pure self introduce. In doing second people, in doing shoes on, or quote up you. Nami every beginning. Yadis where partiters property keep you away. Toi keys in the voterism. The two they were destruction. Who's in a Kenyan. Ehu. Move peace out. Valentino distant day. This order which properly wing of consume. Ironically. Saying, Ernary. Easy to quiv and youngin. Set on engine and the season carrier. Say a gooving up one level. Ah. Go on. Chief to let the ginos you your deepest fear de pornuth was schoon orally, and if you nor dig with it issue. The friend who knows your deepies fears me may. If my often hand hands go through him and don't him kid. He knows your deepest fears, mate. O pispa, biso you wonder. Cantales a quan marido de ze be ping. One day, to a pale of pubius tijumeo, they're hagaging out again and see the zoom. P. Comim against the way with her home. Pin he the men, push him P the then manfizis. Over on the verdi, even where he now sturverdi, all the for Raniella, or future ever. He runs, the band so mal be now still, in lobby, every weakness. May you, and as an evading happiness, this is only looking at it, the using. You but never come totally to bondage you. I'll poach you use a vendor in the dingy. Wow, will you must be poachy for you be all of the wheel of building you on treasurer, and will you. Ella lullaby who moves you for ambition me, weary. In underdistantie, years mubedi imuchpo obisa in magician, mekfum, matures. Ipui, no catapapex, and procuration with the man can be bored up consmudu. I want to be morning to much. You would fully be nogies and honest year. Make it far, sin, fishable. You Chinese long. You recall and glue into his eyes. Maturities. I would put when you hold something back. Pingi, the beady doing. Nikoi, Fiordi what a plead in us at Kadidi. What Chen City. And Gwedi. When cleaning something that. See the clanging bass are no need. Us and the Delgo. When you maintain at ease, King Chiefs the tar that you do. When you maintain a silence. Cause some put out in the only engineer. You maintain a silence. You know ye phony PTG was chinny aidsi. Put a watchurifi. Perdy wayshu. All this one with the later there was Unasis chun and surge. Oh, we court and there's some cover clearly. Alice will on that bury you, a Croatian, or through that can found 20 funk. Hope the no even community right to go the leisure. Do she mingle in you, cave it's funny. You create power 30 wins at party. You could a mystery or a kidu page me. Tina nata. Pinning as a conjury pin sounds other. Lancho can appear me. You can brought it through means of your was uniting in my partner. If you had been creating power through mystery. Coach you mystery is the mystery is that all there. Shadow that unsaid else. Chenoga P7. Mistress is the sada that the other in She and then skills Dorman the she is silently pasture for Barry Pidewedo to the discover issues. So how you keeps repulsiony the fine assignment. You can cautious. You know, con Knisa Egypt's the pen. The silence you can generate. Lay hutter army dates as the needs use every for. The kupsi purple from about his nature would use. Come, pose it up the python equano against you. In pingo. You can't burn in this person shimona. In organized Albani. Which in yes, basic. We'll go to. You should make over the she just as you. Or you come and clone sui. You know that she brought it or something. He never had but you, MPWs, they hurt him. Do not meist, Churthofen month for family, authority. Sans wizzy, to depandi. Mompezin and things in open. It's not very question. Came from the feet in the Russian she. It's money always seem a hand very carefully. P and the conscience. Carriers 6 the P in the realm of influence in teacher manly. In the Rami Masidi and in the Delirium. G-U-A-N-A. Bokurdi on Tuerbing, Sejala Chicarco, of Hesila Porns, Chip A Bala the Morndays, Warji A weapons. They are also snares. At pi P, way. Of the be, they are also snares. Puntip one of the shirts render swins it if he. Was he, when he lay because gratuit. D. Bikuna chilpars hashing, piva no mercy. Because they are, musir eager to be understood. If he's in there, I can say, compare, without them. Even if he's more virgin, on the next one, I was advanced, the original she, Indian Emmy pottery, They speak to prove in themselves shitozo and turdic amzardi, like they speak to preniza the ration of the simlavsum. Each you can short giver in spitting. In spinning. Tempinary. Haptavus. P to prove themselves. Piquid opposition, you so denality. Latin sinsevian canasue. P to show knowledge. To display splash. Me feline. Defamatian bin dysteric. Ani Egypti. P yet often. Polytopidus shoes. He may be interested in him to board on some PB14 and the Guarda the ship traffic of the Shinyanche. in their eagerness. Naudige politiken die species better elector concept ichens en massiums begezuid. Ervan he ten genesim boma halabedi. Je talk on van die finishing the thing. En assumption pattern. Maar nummer per Eugene quite in as incarnation. You go to the hervubus the kingsims of large. Ben pupidius and haedi go we wars at the machine to dafares herity. Commands him hastos to the wise pay and wars you see. Kidding good each no heim. Give it healing man and the crier crazy. And here in the villain anyway. Chula can see a Tranta. Which is he. Spave a was precision, peace. He speaks with precision. Trinity located efficient. Evocation. Peace is Eliafiatus. Tabi what strengthens. Him in revealing what step until the Aichi and can see. William, water weakens him. And what is his analogy in earth up there? Umping arties and merit infinity line with pendant. What the well line in the evening. Hilsman. Will the weekend and G's coming the reason water is void of contention. When was start waiting at the ocean about creatures. Off his bass where I wouldn't go to. Noli. Arting being can he take he push it home, I eat fishing. Kitagadi and Sidon, pitted Seconing. Certo. But he allows others to talk. Tezekipus themsi. So did hintudi. Hele. The bit kitted sin to wajibichi at the yao, fended to the sins once in him. To expose themselves while he listens. P. While he listens. Kurthering nar. Moneticit dibishi deviator shit seeming niguwe. Collision. What javering a mate to see. Utsipi. Get nipnipe. Can the sheeper. What the never meant to share. Not in a count in the where he be desus or beard when he does speak. Keeping now put at hey, ESB, thou shun toward an in you don't speak. Ni when he does speak. His work what he is as so engi, his words and land like a arrows you war fuse. A peshi. Wait or harris. Ara addis. Few. Bobidi Phoebe. I pedi nin that system T in esudu. Half answered high. A PMG. E. Sharp. P name PG there way go tinget ability. And unforgiving. This you pantanta in a seat abadians. Influence does not be unthang to the jury. The loudest voice does not be Lars. Dare why to the noid. The Vedic Kimi. Influences archipel fidi paid. To thimilis the cents. And the last of voice that. In Jenfan will do a melodies be boy with implement. To Kisu's error, como and apudi. But to the voice that is measured. Pimi. But you couldn't cheap if the chahochi. It put two give could all sense to their. When they voice at them with aids. And they read the voice of the village is measure. Pienza paid out GD sui, Messidio Yerji. If I did the same is P. Piggy mean. Tinke pig if you did as a Jordachi. And calculated. Pigo Kaus Yavis Wadi, Punjet our Xianji, Given and Tani Papasisui. He play Fugode, Egichi, Kananphobe. Perception and the detachment. Our weapons unmatched. Perception and the dings atched. Iga, ipitit. Our weapons, man, chin, so, P-pointed. And the location, including our Allen Matt, in penny fist upon a cover some 20. 2013, touches his worse. She be non she doos. You give me pin the enemy's proof. Be gouts tower them siwi, bury him. The common man in and answers we give the acre. Ein Jizis has Jijinaving.
virgin. Become the comment and answers with anger.
So what Piamin he make a. He reacts, he revisi joke bierpe. If you Jemmy and Monday ping for a pinia, Pima in me. He rushes. The point in you. Be dashed beneath dawn, southern ways. Sima chijin in these minchita. Pina tan pinda the pissed man there once. As you call. Pin drought, the directed consequence, or the woman attendant has always in a one thing. And he's like, even again that being said, there wasn't too much of me. Shaggy in this other. La petty pin the provocation five to 8 for the get for you. For collect the pre-evocation the lihisi, English didn't see me, Kuchin ape shinway sorting, unjust of the discipline authority. Hey, her lineage is solid puento. The last the provocating for sham using DNA. Two in war beat has shown you forbo shibajo boss and the scene ethus more than Ray was for swinely funsti. Thorway ter fungicles more than rage changes evasion. Unsettings more the bar way into the speeding non-energy lesson. Much for begins as a middle predatory's age. So we want Pimia Bajua serves. Or Pim Yigun of news who she would Jana Tiranjis year, Tabasia Cardico, to be a quelch one of pin, did all bad a d. Could calculate Sissin, me money his old poem and put your sappy. Where the things and tamen, for in from winning money on soapy. You go as a chief window bin anchi. Minker, calm the beater. Opening, a satellite minds. When can you, men's foil, boy to the wigging in such a good thought. In Blumman of running of PP. Winning for putting running about you who put his units and relation is on there. She knew Jack Pernod she chose when I realized. Throw it as waiting on her own low base that deep place. 我去儿斗秋叶后树里的疲惫，比下的那个三条的信息，都是 you the crowd. Be everything can airs feed me. This patient way pairs weakness. You, she, he, these are befiehens on the pensy. This patience of AP weakness. Yedin araujosu, yumpado, tifi, divargi. To those who know the enemy. I'm yet use. Who know that the game, a per de lasemi with you purse. He is as trappy. He is to a trap in waiting. Indeed that embati in serious crooks. Yeah, a waiting and to cows. He does a goal. A pinani the ball. In a think of fortune itself. The thing put it jump can you. Han uses you when keep you pee. Then is and being the fit in a for itself. The fuyo de fe favors mar pelesium penendi. If the phone is the comedy. 42 vinvers nano. Did the wreck the police. She evaluated and the orbit of asleys. Fortune favors and not the reckless of. Chi did a shuni. Jury ni chudi chi. Died a pay. P. Nor the timid. Into the penavable care papers. But what did a VP and then the farty to see the poopar debate. But the tape and garden on pairing meaty and a put up a pit and writing. And Sweden anti powder and and chanting. So PT preparation require. CP going to front product. She was at the serious some notes. Was seeing them through. Other Z. Person and with some roof. One cheap function. And then both easy pies and condominium. You need a hard singer, or the function, pandemonium. Sturm on the horizon may look limos, and then they put us in Tirolfin and Colmoid and Arthur Clalum. Skating, but in Lamau at the window, either don't you? Here it is near a seat. Arnold, the best carrots at you, banana, the one they are. But Keaton, I'm Barmpini, the last minute, Jimmy. She can't do deep in the eye. Noon, I'll hold you a little bit, you'll wait a lot for that. Jan, hello, the person now. Oh, I can go on. He will be doing him often showing. A thumpunding of a perceptive man, the shippy schwens. King supposite in the. But to the perceptive man, and the Pete is already third. Nahida Zaji Pidge Older the air. Pari or P. Isoliu, heat is already thunder. In the iris meter. Ipitupus hosu p. He prepares before thee. He adulteres ye before thee. The depicts. It is an hutricious kimanini. You demunduts the full of the my postures vanilla. Yo Pierre. The others nursing there. Intrunjin on the shoulder. It shot. Preciative opinion 6 is a yina pofia on the branding. In the flammable war feet in ye. And when the say used on you, the first of the language, you memcopen when the false storm arrives, he pemadin donagor sitsuv, Tawado he appears blessed by luckaway, he appears be SHC, ye udum to powdery, yingchi. You pile she gauge of earning, yet it is not luck. Speedest of head of rent is approaching Paulad, must appear on the moke. It's, a perception applied. Kibbs. It is perception applying gaze. Somebody's innocent of this. Arwachimki. College rank. Movies and you blimmin' nearly in the right shoes. What you being in the minister genuine just as on. Other PRD. Detachment practiced at peace. P in the invention the artisan system be. Detachment into the view for ministist. Crack the sense of the Good up a hit upin you do. Could him one you been you. This hit out of God, Jimmy. You show not your great no pack come hence you sort on any calculation disguised. Hen. So be any day. In Japan. The prisons of platingly yumio. For Pride be. And at the end in the I feel be. Applied in the way you are seen. Parchment head is thin. The Americans don't feel Vincent, kids the genuine turning city. All the sending names and Europeans who you are your share. When you're being be, and she are you way are sane. Bien you are yan says about EB, yourself was you want to shen. PNB, appearances, amambigo the PUs. Touch with if you be you against your pinny. Though, a false. P9 and Gali should build a coin and formulas. Or people the coin RFOG are the coining of the world. If energy fissure art, if west, it'll be reliable honestest, you collie, will be ein hoiwinning, yes. If you may, and being your proud pardon me thinking, utunahoring being, with pepper, for all your bubble, then honesty in all your poorly people, having an agents, hardly calling them complete these please. So I leave readily, I formally worldly to the really can. Keep boy, want you. I hurry on down you. I would have unformed notice the measures. You may desire power xing ti. TV muning, pishi gui. The caddy non subai showy. Ni sidong banjings of you may desire your power. Figure out shuko PZB. What? P, yes, appear. See your humble. Bien pini PBU de CPA tunanoti, then kedi. You may made hi. Eder, amended head. There's unini, and she got pity nice, shunky. I'll piece no one else can if inventory. The sweet medicines you bought a capershuk in the P, yet display generosity. You P at this psychology and shipping. Display generosity. She knew a P and even she copy thing. What I see. In Shime twins and do the They may plan betrayal. Topuk, putting mess but is it cry until loyal. Until the moment you hem of necessity, fiboshidary. Bidding to you that in love for in on a board city. Maybe you the manually. Let her on, nothing feelings in ye. And so get to your line in that easily. Being later, that's out. Simpel later, it's where hit the ways to get Pierre you do no sus fun. Is soon hard telling in a so wide as but how you be bind in either's two illusions. Well, move in turver. And he pope on sen, he bidding, can he put the war. You everything on pro mirroring. Amber, in 4 days, I'll make many hands you. Courage you when first names them. That's right now you're alone. The unique throw and wire. Everything is sure now, even Karen wanting to do fishing. Why not, you may be. And that's
Senator going to be going to an arch. Others and living is high.
풍부르지딩 아비시스 중대오리 피해버려죠. 김피디우. 这形成 PD 别个秀必须一定反反 You can believe the mask. Pin me they trust the role. Part of a journey. You way pue can and pickling tini. They trust the role. As Hunching 6 a beach need a boat. East Bay, Unimas is a two-beat chinong. Make Helmer not it. Yeah. Niggas light. Do they realize they were outplayed? On their home, and even for gay. It's unfortunate where I already. Letting you know, argue them to probability, and generally 80 runs into us. The whole rolling with their honesty. You who's the weave or averty, chitty than he. Is already up in the ants for a public and white to see. What is my taking some other having for British and arc? In already. In figuring you like the seas, and he leaves. And she keeps much. Volumati the carbonite, they pump for age. She may be able to use it, real. Those are three, but in China were enemies of Kurdish. Couldn't choose out. Jean, yes, speaking of this, what do you think I don't get that is there? In our conversation, Edifiji had a teenage. In conversation, get just very perigini. So far home we are bresoy. Karaji chikun now view I and Tinang for Yodini. Jamada pianing is carrying off with you, Tiensingly. You reveal less than you know. Well, you come yadra to be in Tobi Theradi KPGB. Yet action. In planning. Kenneth Whitey Avoli had as a sus pony. But can he in let this age but Hamsiman Bezis or daddy? Yarhansen, you know, Kedayar. Won't hunk if feminich. You better ship one of it in bands and bands duties. Part of it and how Joker's changing and on his own the party. She died up and cool, yay lady. She's if I could you hold the thing. She's asking her ship on the coming with in my moments of weakness. P moments as a peep the skate and moment this answer see fading. Point just you Peter get hinkinarity. Nay, Ninkiness and Chunwakiness. Commence you neighbor. Marhit Hozerde is lazini. P chun concealed and written Jew. Conversates and with the strength and people. So can the comment. If he in PP that you quay par out here is Belen is the ran. Versus ye put ye to see in Gopian moments of strength. They listen in Masham, Pete you to the mud is substance car. Come thelp up livered in chai. But napa look them with modesty. Look them with modesty. Ping nui. A pew koi. Chi time. You practice. Frappatis. Liquea intenstumbi. Koro yit. Koni e. P-E-E. You refine the art. Ithegate. Bishabichi. Ikoisteke piboishu wes yivavas mediant. Each is the time you with the hold of the Yensung elements bidas miradi. Kudas shown and suni lessibobi. Tame pointed the appears or any ego chibishi. Then hoshi son and kanas show. Means that if you have things under arguments, you should be remaining in be egg time you wear the mask. Conjabalete, if you hear artens and money each shit a tan mis hane, you wear the ikimanaskan. If you can keep your catching phone, you know not. You sharpen the secret edge that other cannot detense all of us. Out the puri potential. Carving to the carpenters in Harris. Colomber than any sir. In a year than a heavy, lure on a bimsico. Hosana. Hosanichi, warfare. Yenani, Elo, or anything on him, Jimmy, color, and community. Paida your gis, with time was the heat of her age. Most people would never live this way in the bay. Of Namal Parthene. Most people would not eat this of me, if Enki marked the chemical. Collect, sure. Making diamond, P bikine nurian quires in this vandos par pianadines, for it requires discipline. You desire then and its energy. You Oshili opinion issue wars he demands the silencing of the heart. It is Simon in the communicants for the slash images. The silencing of the heart.
Almost the
restraint of the tongue, weary. Kapilius and Nermans here to open Malaysian. Kid hydrate arson. Me, yo bubun hang in Iwanegi. You calling it. Say. Anyway, Shivi. Never the pinafus scrots, a divided tensiginarity. P beta. Binaming. 30 emi ace and 3. Get an infinite nafta titin. Gene foundations of the shortages and no go pinum. Nibudi ufim. To calar de gempiwali nopum. Nor to we man CQ bedolitmili. If we wouldn't live openly. To me, Pijanisa Pades Hamai, a Pikatui, Mashasalba, Shit, Wimia. Imishudishnayane. Trust a copor. Pin a the trust too soon. Too soon, play and yebe a downre, inenzuli was on poyed with audio is too deep. Yuan. And it expo. It too deep, new again. But he did to Gorzo is nefaj, pay. This yid for so. They will stumble into your bomb. Ties numpers it. In. So, I can, Negar saw. And they will call it what him, mid-shorting, care. Pay you legi, and they will nucleate you. In case of shogunly, part of shooting. Be you believing to be fain. And Pundi to will call it missy fortune. Perter and humor exist, pay to be, pay but fetch a palv. If you do mass the mar session, who mass perception, they can, to emerson. Be shuchi. Who mass perception, who apply detachment. Opinions apply detachment, P-lady, call the spechabade. Pinipu, he call hypodishis halfway, photosku. Apply detachment. Mnijibzamani pi sending, for pofaric, with appearances, heli, vardis, taho tabarity, which horrible. Menemico pibe, the word oily, thug, deep honest. You could end with winking me and near. Are you anything to do? It is. Whoever the day, could your aim, and there will really, ain't our packaging. And they run over and quit us by him. Out of the war here in check, finally. A P, invisibly, pro-book, until it seems as, have kereft, big if, keep it down itself, says, Eshu use call thee, for thus, Aaron, one, of, sarshing almost, others, roaring what others, refuse to face, son of one, and prison comes in what of Mars, repeat yourself now, you both months in England, and then out to Gazani. Me dreams up, I think you're one of which, with you go home. Seems really ferocious. Klilar Samin too says to Siamin, the hidden trait of perception, then hin thousand pinam being. She did the Hansen in a special. Nar people reader, he. GD sheet of Akin, Polifida, if an obai that prime tenacity, that enslaves the many for solidity. The blindness of that enslave is the many, the bargain of which your placard, carnate, humility, the beyond endless landing marriages and the philandery, teaching slavery, many, through the mask of detachment, the mess up coin hazard at a bay, the masking to enter the mask of ye, into issue, and as you don't vote until you're in the car lodge. Their draft sheet, until Hoy. Hundred and gentlemen, showing our dancing hangers. In Nigeria, may you go on, Jizzy. Man to work in our elders here. Century Chinese, before the pony. They way, up the. They should have been needed to be on the walla. Sanchamis,
Shooter pipirin in the Lions, the Jord, and Henry who wanted in a meeting. It's nearly little full name of them, the whole, and the machine waiting for an event for Shulishi, and from Wardier and Machiavelli, Ephraim, and there's in the shiver, Terrai, letting the whole of the evil machine their arms.
Most men will hear such chirpedy, 瞧着的tail in us all out here. It's on high to bear judgment and mistake me. Yeah, we just handling will hear you such a reason. This means the bitches are mom. Niccolò就没今天那些都要想到年平，去表一些，那个星期那就是你来人就前面后面的，就先过的温馨的反正是你 could be prefer all the predictably area of any v in the comforty way. Ordinary, easy, only for the comfort illusions. It wasn't easy. And she could have been of an orgy. But Babath, Barda People's upward is thin, continue to trust Tuli. They will continue to trust Tuli's whining. Though you, the bit easy, make her that not happy as hardy. It seems upon my easily. Juan Ninche. He body the David Piece of Ape Obi, to reveal Tui, who appealing to openly. Quiz obeying all she, so. Our creation of veterism. Penajuji today divorce to mistake appearances for reality. Begins Henry, he, Hintham Jijin Sequoia, Tane, he help other UNFT, T, the Bani Stevenisi. Continue there. When social penism is for reality. Nargling, in they will fall. Payday, if Henry Waji Swatine, Sina the way, Japan. Didn't want to sell up hers. With the politician already the benefit seen, Pui is sending Odin family Kinan. Pin again, and then again, peeping always cause it have. Adekayo, Dichi, and Manhowers Aopoji. Okay, as they always have. The third, he, Famirbus, piece of it, Tuneko he's. Gee. And you, he titled me if you, what do you over our, Minamala Devisha, commit, if you remember, triviality. However, second, largely, the VMLDV, tense, top tila ars, your, and you consider, those inside upon my one Tirai Shitsuking, revealed. People their word is hoy. Which would be any, if in the Uchin, with no party wisdom as Jodi. On beacon wound in line of ages. But I no longer walk blindly. In the Chimfinity, pity be and moppities. Manos and you one be up and maple to Kido bees. Dod Paul than Tedias. Kin. The chap is an onyx emerge. Each universe, he will see what others cannot. But whom pagrade, yet as magic cubities in my what the others expose. Even yet at the Ibade, Niccolò. In wasn't one in its dimension, Tony man, Hanny, Ngolwoke, or Charles Christ on earth. So word of being will hide it, others pose. Nkoi was near what you call energy. Pretty career policy, the Nashipinus use already. Bindani. Before their promise and air circumstances here moments. And now months, the parents and temperate urge. I've heard of it, Judge. Comes that I knew in answer. A burnizing my from European sheet. And if you met one, she cartons nor wisdom can fake from within in. The auto sheen of a mint, a fake file. You see, I must appear to do a vehicle of me. Wasn't going out the cartridge. Postwoody. Who you tennisly? But people will again name ponies will learn doing no art, but south after June, you dreamy. You peace, we coming for you, the being who's in Shuni. He tower binoculars and do dream. It hid the one averture, a densual. Swear got to Kogosibu Simjo Dang, nor to forward Elisis. Homami to Bane. It you been an addy, you see chip him since you waited. The butters Jumish now. Be don't mo beef, you tit says and now that. E pitamina child be do. She'd seen him what the titoi. You perceive. Don't tell not production, you panachinus, be all I see. Purigatui, would calculate. Podimi quindi, pio la popola, the P ever six bada periodi db, and a strike with precision. Widi, so pio gavidal martyr, and strike with precision. Gubest we English ibinen defi. Peg, carry this with you. Carry this with you. That's the real radios. Ayinara go to Junsin to Winonti. Won't put you the world as mother alnally, hot out if the also. Says you Mario puddings. And so cotton down immediate pay. Called beating no young excursion. What you took from the opal to each shooting the lie. Who can't stand one and her English pay, P.I. Horn Kirby. Send you the one under him the funny sweet. You know, an aider city, yins, Gawardi, Temin, Kip Pari, nor loyalty. P mean the biddy. P was a seed up at you. We saverendi. Bintamu then all genie so pame mochi jong thought the manthara toshagada genie. Nor our labor without strategy. We need to act when capabilities godadaji. The verlu that the origin with the hours the portata would have warranty to the yodimatan. Chichi cadeti, what emits the phoebe me. When he can know here, listen to that a flipper kitchen. With the clarity and the caring, conning. We need a fair cunning, channeling, recruiting. Curtis and currently about Pichi and Netchu Pendleman. I asked him whom you need, Indian. And learning Jeffrey Banks and Conking. We all know what his needs. Take you with their one away. And though the fig is to his pepadi, Icar willed, it is to step beyond to the crowd. And it will since in every grade into the realm of those who command rather by hellas. Or the bisham or virutin and throatism. Yes, Nihamed by which we on a come over was on that like you lose the useful. I'm going to be one that one is 439 fully.